And action. Welcome to another fabulous episode of the Action Podcast, Oscar edition.
Oscar edition.
That's right. We are coming here the day after the Oscar Awards ceremony. And did you end up watching the Oscars, Pete?
I did. End to end. I watched it. You know, I was a sucker only because this year there were so many great films that I had to see who the Academy picked. You know, for the most part, you agree with their nominations, but there are a few that maybe they missed out on. But we're gonna figure it out right now. We're gonna break it down.
Yeah, I did not watch it, although I was getting your texts as spoiler alerts, so that kept me informed.
I was giving you updates constantly.
Yeah, I was just finishing a shoot myself. But today we're going to be sponsored by Beechwood. You can't really see it. There we go. Beechwood LBC IPA. That's who's going to sponsor us today. So anyways, let's get it right into it. We are going to go over best motion picture of the year. And the nominees were Everything Everywhere All at Once, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: Way of Water, Elvis, Banshees of Inisherin, The Fabelmans, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, Tar, Women Talking. So pretty solid list. I have seen all of these except for Triangle of Sadness. I have not been able to see that one yet, but it is on my list to see. The winner, of course, was Everything Everywhere All at Once. And, you know, when I saw this film in April, I believe is when it came out, because I had just seen last year's Best Picture winner, Coda, and I saw this movie and I just felt not only was it an amazing film, but it had that feel that the Academy is going to love the film as well. And lo and behold, Pete, I called my shot in April and I said, this is the Best Picture of the year. And yeah, it did. And I'm definitely not mad that this one won. This would be my number two, only because I think my number one, and only because I saw it 12 times and it's that good. And I was actually watching it this morning. Yeah. You know, so I think, you know, my favorite Best Picture. I mean, I try not to complicate it. It's like, what movie do I want to watch over and over and over again? Like, to me, that's part of what a Best Picture should be. I mean, not over and over again, but at least like you see it at least once a year or something like that. Although again, I think all once, like I want to see that again. I'm going to be seeing it pretty shortly again. But what was your thoughts?
Well, it just seems like one of those movies that you have to see multiple times in order to really pick up on, because you see it one time and when you're done, you're just like, what was that? Like, what did I just watch? Like, there's so much happening at any given time. And obviously the script is incredible. The performances are incredible, but then the visual effects are also very incredible. It's very hard to focus on one thing when you're watching that film. So that is a multi-viewing type of movie.
For sure.
And thank God it's good. It's an Academy Award winner. So it actually, it's like, yeah, I can go and see this multiple times because of the fact that it's a big time winner.
Yeah, this is not a Shakespeare in Love winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, come on, give me a break with that one. Like, I understand the Top Gun Maverick reference. I mean, my Best Picture of the year should have been The Fabelmans. Like, I just think that but that's more of a personal thing for me. But you
saw that film too, by the way. I would not have been mad if that one won either.
Right. But you can't argue why Everything Everywhere All at Once won Best Picture. I mean, it is the most creative, innovative, interesting, well acted, well directed. I mean, the music, the score, I mean, everything about that movie is amazing. So, I mean, you can't, like, sometimes a Best Picture wins and you're like, what? Like, I haven't even seen that. I hadn't even heard of it.
Yeah.
But this year, I think they kind of got it right. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really, can't argue.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the only two movies that I haven't seen Triangle of Sadness. I'll remove that one from this conversation. But, you know, Tar wasn't for me. Neither was Women Talking. I thought Women Talking was a well-crafted film. I just think that film was lacking. So I wouldn't think of those as two of the best pictures, but you know, I know your film Till. I feel like that probably should have been here on this list. And
That was the biggest snub of all
Even
time.
Nope. I wouldn't have been mad if Nope was on here. Like I think those two
No,
movies.
Till and Nope
Yeah.
are two of the better movies that were put out this year, and it's just a shame.
Yeah, and Elvis too. I don't necessarily think Elvis is one of the top movies of the year, but
It
it's
was a
just
great
bad.
performance. It was not a great picture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was lacking. Anyways, we don't want we've gone over a lot of these films. Check out our previous podcast where we review many of these films to get our full analysis. But we want to keep this rolling because we've got many category here to talk about.
Sure.
Next category is best performance by an actor in a leading role, and the nominees are Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Austin Butler for Elvis, Bill Nye for Living, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Paul Mescal for Aftersun.
Right.
And Brendan Fraser, of course, is the winner here for The Whale. I did not see Aftersun or The Living, so I do not know those two performances. I mean, Colin Farrell was very good in his role, and Austin Butler was very good as Elvis as well. So this is a solid list. Um, I thought they got this right as well. I that would be my choice out of these ones is Brendan Fraser.
Hmm.
I believe even when that film came out, I said this is another. I pretty much called a lot of these shots this year.
Right.
I said Brendan Fraser is probably the best actor. What were your thoughts?
I mean, what a resurgence, right? I mean, I mean, that's why I love Colin Farrell so much this year, according to our previous podcast, is that,
Yeah,
this is somebody that just came on very strong, and then sort of disappeared for whatever reason, and is now sort of coming back into the limelight. Brendan Fraser is one of those people that, was really big early on, and then just sort of disappeared. And now he was able to come back and do such a great performance, an Oscar-worthy performance. I will say that you can't argue the choice because I think he was the front runner from the beginning.
yeah.
There was, is Austin Butler going to take it for the Oscars because he won the Golden Globe and blah blah blah. But I think they made the right choice. I would have personally given it to Colin Farrell, but I think that's a little bit biased because I just look at
I would
Colin
agree.
Farrell's body of work over the past year, and I just think that he deserves so much recognition for the amount of work that he's done and amount
Yeah,
of great work that he's done. But you can't argue Brendan Fraser's winning this thing. I think he should have practiced his acceptance speech a little bit more, but he absolutely deserved this award.
yep. Nice. Okay,
I got to
next.
be honest though, I'm really curious about Living, and because I've heard that movie is really great, and I've heard that his performance is
I haven't
stellar.
even heard of
I
it.
haven't been able to find it anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, dude, we've been on top of all this stuff, so
We've been on top of it all. I can't
I don't.
find
I've
Living
never even heard of
anywhere.
the film though. How have I not even heard of this film?
I remember seeing previews for it about 6 months ago and thinking to myself, "Oh my God, I want to see this film." And then it never came out near me, and it was never on streaming. It was never on anything. But I heard that his performance is, I mean, it might have actually competed with Brendan Fraser a little bit. That's just what I've heard.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to best performance by an actress in a leading role. And
Mhm.
we have Anna de Armas in Blonde, Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, Kate Blanchett for Tar, and Michelle Williams for The Fablemans. And your winner was Michelle Yeoh. And yeah, what were your thoughts on this category, Pete?
Um, I mean, she's a worthy winner of the award. I don't necessarily agree with it. My big winner for this year was always Danielle Deadwyler from Till. I don't think that there's anybody that can touch this woman's performance as a mother who loses her child in such a brutal and disgusting way. Um, I can't even get into the right mindset. I've said this before on one of our shows. I can't even get into that mindset in order to act like I can be in that mindset. And yet she did it, and she did it amazing. Michelle
Yeah.
Yeoh did an incredible job. Like, she was dramatic, she was action, she was emotional, she was funny. I understand why she got the award. but I think that Danielle Deadwyler was a lock. I would have bet my life on it, and
Glad you
thank
didn't.
God, because I'd be dead right
Yeah,
now.
our podcast would tank.
It would only be Paul.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think she was excellent. She would be my number 3, I would say, on this list. Maybe even number 4. Michelle Williams was
Mhm.
fantastic. Mine would have been Anna de Armas or Deadweiler. They were pretty 50-50 in my head. Uh,
Right.
so I would have been fine with either of those two. Those are my two top performances. Anna de Armas, I thought, was just, I mean, again, she's Cuban, dude, and she played a blonde white woman. Like,
Yeah.
I think, and again, she always has an accent in every one of her films. And this one, she
Always.
nailed not just the accent, but just her. I mean, Anna de Armas obviously is a very good actress, and
Right.
I thought you didn't think I'm watching Anna de Armas in there. Like that was one of the best like Marilyn Monroe performances. So that would have been mine. But
But I called that. You know what I mean? I called it. It was gonna. I said it was gonna be between her and Deadweiler. Like I
yeah,
thought that those two women were above everything else that we saw. I just gave the edge to somebody that wasn't even nominated.
yeah. Well,
Come on,
Pete, we all
stop.
can't be winners, and I was pretty much nailing a lot of these things. So
Yeah,
it is what it is. But
it is
okay,
what it is.
yeah. Next, we have best performance by an actor in a supporting role.
This is great.
And yeah, this was a lot of good performances here. Ki Hai Kwan for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Barry Keoghan, Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Gleeson for The Banshees of Inisherin, Byron Tyree Henry for Causeway, and Judd Hirsch for The Fablemans. And yeah, I'll let you go first on this one. What were Ki Hai Kwan, of course, won for Everything
Yes.
Everywhere All at Once. What were your thoughts?
Well, I mean, that was a very nostalgic win for me, and I know also for you. I mean, we grew up with the Goonies and Temple of Doom with
Yeah,
Indiana Jones, and when he got up there and he was like really emotional and he was crying, like I got like really emotional too, because I mean, this is a kid that went away forever and came back.
20 plus years, right? Stopped
Yeah,
acting for
over
like 20
20
plus years.
years. Came back and he just puts on this performance. Like, how did he even get the role? Like, I'm so curious about how he made it to this film and then was able to kind of push it forward. Like, how did he get this role? Like,
Yeah.
I have so many questions, but he got the role, he won it, and he's absolutely deserving of it. I will say that Brian Tyree Henry and Judd Hirsch are two people that I called very early on that should be nominated. I think that both of their performances in those movies, Causeway, I didn't think it was a great movie, but I thought he did a
I would agree with
phenomenal
that.
job.
I would agree with that,
Um,
especially because I wasn't necessarily, I didn't love him in the Eternals. Um, but I think my problem wasn't with him as an actor more than my
yeah,
problem with the Eternals in general.
well, I
Uh,
think he showed us exactly what his
he's
chops are.
he's of course a very good actor.
So
Uh,
good. And Judd Hirsch, I called Judd Hirsch as like a sneaky nominated. I mean, he came in, he was given virtually like the most important scenes in that movie to like just kind of say stuff, and he did it in that
yeah,
incredible way. That was very impactful. And so I was happy that both of those guys got nominated because they absolutely deserved it. And I think Banshees of Inisherin, I know we've done a show about our top 10 of the year.
who would you
Uh,
have picked between the two, Barry or Brendan? Who would you?
Oh, Brendan, 100%. I mean, Barry Keoghan's role was quite minor in comparison to Brendan Gleeson's. I mean,
Yeah,
Gleeson was just, I mean, he could have very easily been actor 1A, best actor 1B, right? Like
yeah.
his role was just as significant as Colin Farrell's.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think they nailed this one. This was my favorite from the get-go as well. And
I
I'm
agree with
like you say,
everyone on the list, right? And the winner. Like, totally get it.
yeah. And yeah, I was extremely happy. I think I think he was literally the best supporting actor. So that one worked for me.
Totally
Next,
agree.
we have best performance by an actress in a supporting role. We have Jamie Lee Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Angela Bassett, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow, The Whale, Carrie Condon, Banshees of Inisherin, Stephanie Sue for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Your winner was Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'll go first on this one.
There you go.
Um, I would go with probably Angela Bassett on this one for Black
Mhm,
Panther.
mhm.
You know,
Why?
she really carried that film, you know what I mean? Obviously going into that film, nobody really knew kind of how that film was going to play out, but you know, Angela Bassett really um you know, in the first one she wasn't really a huge role and she seemed very kind of minor. Um but in this one she really just had a powerful presence, and again, obviously there's real life stuff that you know plays in the picture here, but I think she really just dominated the screen
Mm,
and really stood out, and you know the directing obviously did a great job as well of just making her the queen, right? And she was every bit of the queen of this land and then leading her people. Like she was an amazing leader that you just really respected. And so that's probably who I would have gone with here.
yeah, can I build on that a little bit?
Sure,
Because
why
I
not?
agree. I would have given it to her as
I said
well.
it pretty perfectly, but go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, sorry. But her character, the way she portrayed that character encapsulated not only what the people on screen were dealing with, but also what everyone was dealing with in the real world. Like she was able to encapsulate everybody's feelings of just like when you lose a kid, right? Like it's
Yeah.
like she was able to really just portray that sadness and that anger and that strength. Um, and no offense to Jamie Lee Curtis, I mean, I think her role was really good in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think that she deserved the nomination 100%. I almost feel it in a way it's almost like a legacy win.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not mad about that.
I'm not mad about it either, except for the fact that Angela Bassett deserved that award. You
Sure,
know,
sure.
like I'm happy with her role, but I mean, best actor, best actress, best supporting actress, right? Like they're all
Yeah.
everywhere all at once. I get it. All those performances were phenomenal. But I think that Angela Bassett encapsulated every bit of what you need to be as an actress, and portrayed that as such. I thought that was a little bit of a letdown. I thought that she was going to win for sure.
Yeah, and
But
my second
whatever.
would have been Hong Chow for The Whale. Thought she was really really good, and I thought, I mean, she really helped that film because like the themes of that film, you know, are kind of tough, and
Mm.
she really, I think, added a different element to it and kind of made the film extremely enjoyable. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that'd have been my number two, but I'm Angela Bassett was my one.
Yeah.
Next, we have best achievement in directing. I don't know why it's not best director anymore. Anyways, it's neither here nor there. We have Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere All at Once. We probably already know who's going to win here. Martin McDonough, Ruben Östlund, Steven Spielberg, and Todd Field. And the heavy favorite going in was Steven Spielberg, who won the Golden Globes.
Right.
But Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert won this one for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And that was my choice from the get-go, even though I loved Steven Spielberg's direction in The Fablemans and obviously A Personal Tale.
Right.
But I just like I've been saying with the movie itself, I mean, it was what they were able to do in that film just blew me away. And you know, of course, the direction is a huge part of that. And yeah, so that was my favorite going in, and it won. So no complaints here. Again, just a really Steven Spielberg would probably win in every other year, and this it would it went up against a all time, I think, great film in
Yeah.
everything.
It's just one of those unfortunate scenarios where, when people say things like, if it was any other year, Spielberg would have won, right? Like people
It's
said
like
that
the
about,
Portland Trailblazers that went against the Lakers or
it's like,
the
how many
Sacramento
times
Kings.
how many times did we hear that about Leonardo DiCaprio? Like, oh, if he just wasn't up against this person, he would have for sure won. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. I personally think that, but again, this is more of a personal thing, versus what I saw on screen. Because to be able to translate that script to screen, the way that Daniel Kwan and Daniel Shiner did, is remarkable, and they absolutely deserved the recognition and the award itself. It would have been great. It would have just been one of those storybook endings for a Steven Spielberg career to like go through everything that he's gone through, and then to win the best director for the movie about his life, right?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
there's a little part of me that wish that would have happened, but you can't argue who won
Yeah,
at
for sure.
all.
For sure. All right, next we have Best Original Screenplay. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Daniel Kwan, Daniel Scheinert, Banshees of Inisherin, Martin McDonough, Steven Spielberg, Tony Kushner, Robert Usling, Triangle of Sadness, and Todd Field for Tar. You know what the crazy part, Pete, is?
What?
Is every single one of these Best Original Screenplays, the writer is also the director. I don't
Yep.
know if that's ever happened before. I mean, maybe it has.
Yeah, I was noticing that earlier. That's remarkable.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But great job by all these gentlemen for all these were also best pictures. So to write and direct to get both those nods, I'll give a shout out to all those guys.
Yep.
Everybody's a winner in this category, Pete, right?
Yeah,
But
it's true.
yeah, I think they nailed this one, the winner, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like I said, man, to come up with this idea, I can't.
How
you
do
know,
you write it, right? Like, that's the
yeah,
big question. Like, how did you write this movie? Like, Steven Spielberg can say, well, I just kind of wrote about my life, right?
yeah.
Like,
And it took me 70 years to write this one.
yeah, the world's longest screenplay ever.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, you can't really deny what we saw with Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, I got to tell you, as a script, just based on the writing itself, I thought the Banshees of Inisherin had a real shot at winning Best Original Screenplay because of how amazing the story is laid out and how incredible the dialogue is and the relationship that was actually put on paper
yeah.
and then actually had to be performed. I know that you're not as high on the Banshees as I am, but I thought the Banshees was just such a phenomenal movie and written beautifully, and directed beautifully, but not to the Everything Everywhere level.
I think my own personal flaws are like I have a hard time understanding the UK accents. And so like I think it just takes me out. So it's very hard for me to watch hard British, Scottish, Irish films because I literally don't know what's happening and I lose so much in translation. So that's more of a personal issue for me. I do want to watch it again with the subtitles because I think I'm gonna like the movie a lot more. But I knew there was greatness in this movie. It was just a struggle
Yeah,
because
but
I couldn't.
I mean, that's one of the things about the movie, right? Like that, even if you don't understand the dialect that's being spoken, I mean, you can tell through the performances that what they're saying is impactful and the actions that they do are meaningful, right? Like
Yeah,
that's just writing, right?
yeah,
Like
for sure.
that's just amazing writing.
Yeah,
Anyways,
for sure. All right, next we have Best Adapted Screenplay. We have Women Talking by Sarah Polley, All Quiet on the Western Front, Edward Berger, Leslie Patterson, Ian Stokell, Glass Onion, Ryan Johnson, Living, Kazuo Ishiguro, and Top Gun Maverick, Aaron Cougar, Eric Warren Singer, Christopher McQuarrie, Peter Craig, and Justin Marks.
and
Now, I
Pete
know for a fact,
Escarcega and Paul Escarcega also.
yeah,
Like, it just credits on that.
yeah, and obviously the reason why there's so many names is because that movie went through several iterations, and so
Sure.
they're included in that. But yeah, so your winner is Women Talking by Sarah Polley. Uh,
I don't understand that at all. Go on.
well, this was in our review of the movie itself, but I thought this was a 30-minute film, and I didn't think the movie was tough enough. And so for it even to be nominated for an adapted screenplay, I think goes against everything about a screenplay. And so I think this is probably the one award where I think they are absolutely wrong. It should not even have been nominated. And I didn't think I liked the film. I thought the direction of this film was fantastic.
Right.
But I thought this movie was 30 minutes because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, they went through some stuff. Yeah, they should leave. Like I didn't there was no doubt that that was the decision. And it's like they made it 90 minutes and it's like, yeah, I was already ready to leave in the first 20. Like
Right.
not leave the theater, but like the characters, it was not, they did not make a compelling case to stay. And I think
Sure.
again, that's what makes a great script where you're really torn on the decision making. This one was not, it was too easy. And so
Right.
I think they missed the boat on this one. I would have gone with Shocker Pete, Top Gun Maverick. I would not have been mad if All Quiet on the Western Front would have won.
Exactly. Those were absolutely my thoughts as well.
I haven't seen the other two films. I need to finish Glass Onion. That's on
Glass
Netflix.
Onion. let's get that right. Like Glass Onion is great, and it's a really well crafted script. And then it's just amplified by the performances. I mean, it's an all-star cast. It's an ensemble piece, right?
Yeah.
It absolutely should have been nominated. There's no way that one's winning, right?
Yeah.
Living, again, that's another movie that we just need to see because everyone's talking about it, and I can't find it goddamn anywhere.
I'll look
But
for it and I'll see what I can do on that
the
one.
other two, All Quiet on the Western Front, crushed. I didn't went into that movie not thinking anything about it, and I was absolutely mesmerized and blown away at not only the writing, but the way it was portrayed and the acting and everything about it. And a Top Gun, we already know about Top Gun, right?
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's like the #1 movie of the year. So
And
why?
it's just rare that a screenplay, like again, think how hard, like to make a sequel of one of the greatest films of all time, or
30 years old.
entertainment films of all time. Everyone loves Top Gun for the most part. I don't know too many people that are like, I don't like Top Gun. Maybe they just didn't see
Yeah.
it, but
Oh, it's dumb.
to for the fact that to make this film that is actually better than the first one, I think is a huge achievement. And the script is way better. Well, obviously, it's nominated. The original wasn't. The first one have some major plot issues, right? But this was a very tight script.
Super tight.
And again, just nailed so many different points on a screenplay that made it
It
great.
also gave you hope about what's coming up in the Top Gun IP in the future. Like it just
Yeah.
gave you everything. So yeah, I agree. It was either that or All Quiet for me.
Yep. Next, we have Best Achievement in Cinematography. You have All Quiet. You have Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths. Oh, I'm sorry, James Friend for All Quiet on the Western Front. Darius Khondji for Bardo. Mandy Walker for Elvis. Roger Deakins, my boy, Empire of the Light. And Florian Hofmeister for Tar. Winner is James Friend, All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm super happy that this won cinematography. This was an amazingly shot film.
Yep.
From the get-go, I was just like, oh, okay. Like the first shot is an amazing shot. I thought Top Gun should have been nominated too, for the just simple fact of where they put cameras. And
Right.
it was a lot of practical filming. And I thought that's what partly made the film so excellent, was the cinematography and the fact that it was, they didn't cheat. There's cameras in the cockpit, there's all that good stuff. So that would have been
Cockpit.
my 1B probably. I think they nailed it with James Friend. Elvis was well shot as well, so that would have been probably my number 3. I have not seen Empire of the Light. I've been wanting to see that one.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Like, if All Quiet didn't win, which I'm absolutely happy it did and agree with 100%. Empire of Light. I saw this film and it was beautifully shot.
Yeah, I've heard
Um,
that.
and Olivia Colman, I think, got snubbed. I think that she should have been a Best Actress nominee. I mean,
Yeah,
you see an actual demise of a woman's sanity throughout the entire film, and her last stretch in the film and what she does, acting wise, is one of the more incredible things I think I've ever seen on film. But in terms of cinematography, Empire of Light would have been my second. Bardo, I see billboards everywhere for it. I got 3 minutes into it and I had to turn it off. I
I
don't
haven't seen that
understand
one.
it. I didn't get it. I will muscle through it someday, but I'm thrilled with the winner. All
Yeah,
Quiet on
sure.
the Western Front deserved so many accolades this year, and I'm glad it got it.
Yep, for sure. All right, best achievement. We're gonna speed this up. Best
Yeah.
achievement in film editing, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Elvis, Banshees of Inisherin, let me say the names. Paul Rogers, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Matt Villa, Jonathan Redmond, Elvis, Michael E.G. Nielsen for the Banshees of Inisherin, Eddie Hamilton, Top Gun Maverick, Monica Willie for Tar. Winner is Paul Rogers, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think they got it right. My number 2 is probably Eddie Hamilton for the same reason as the cinematography, but
Sure.
yeah, I think this is the right call.
Agreed.
All right, moving on. We have Best Achievement in Production Design. You have All Quiet on the Western Front, Christian Goldbeck, Ernestine Hipper. You have Dylan Colbin Proctor, Vanessa Cole, Avatar: Way of Water, Florencia Martin, Anthony Carlino, Babylon, Catherine Martin, Karen Murphy, Beverly Dunn, Elvis, Rick Carter, Karen O'Hara, The Fablemans.
Right.
Your winner is All Quiet on the Western Front. I would have maybe gone Babylon here, but
I would have.
yeah, not mad on All Quiet.
No, I'm not mad about All Quiet, but I would have given it to Babylon as well. Babylon got zero love
Yeah,
this year. It's a phenomenal film, and it's beautifully shot, and the design,
the design
not
was
only from
amazing.
costume but to set to the performances, are top of the line. And it's a shame. It's another shame. Till and Babylon just got snubbed this
Yep,
year.
for sure. All right,
Costume.
next we have costume design. You have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Babylon, Elvis, Everything Ever Went. Oh, sorry, I gotta say the names. Ruthie Carter, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Babylon, Mary Zofries, Catherine Martin for Elvis, Shirley Kurata, Everything Ever Once,
Right.
and Jenny Beavan, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Your winner is Black Panda, Wakanda Forever, Ruthie Carter. I think this was the
Black
right call.
Panda.
Black Panther. Did I say
Okay.
that? Yeah, but Ruthie Carter's your winner for Black Panther. I think that's the right call. Babylon would have been my number two, maybe
Exactly.
Elvis, but I thought it was the winner.
Yeah, Elvis. I mean, you had you had a reference to go off of, right? Like,
Yeah,
you tell me to draw something that's already been drawn, I could probably get pretty close, right?
yeah. Okay, next we have Best Sound. You have Top Gun Maverick. I'm not going to say the names because there's a lot of people in these
Yeah,
ones.
it's tons.
All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, Elvis, The Batman. Your winner's Top Gun Maverick. Absolutely, the sound was amazing in this one. Batman would probably be my number two on this one,
Mm-hmm.
or All Quiet on the Western Front. Those are probably my
Yeah.
other two, but
Yeah.
I thought Top Gun was the winner.
Agreed.
Nice. Best achievement in makeup and hairstyling. You have The Whale, All Quiet on the Western Front, Black Panther, Elvis, and The Batman. Um, yeah, I mean, I think yes, you got to go with The Whale. Batman's probably Batman or Black Panther would probably been
Yeah, I'd go Batman second. I mean, just based on
just
what they
because
had to
of
do to Colin
just yeah.
Farrell,
You really didn't even know it was Colin Farrell, so I'm
you
kind
had
of
no
with you.
idea.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I would not have been mad if that one won. It'd have been cool.
Sure.
All right, best score. All Quiet on the Western Front, Volker Berteman, Justin Hurwitz, Babylon, Sunlocks for Everything Everyone Wants, Carter Burwell, Banshees of Inisherin, and John Williams, The Fablemans. Volker Bertelman won for All Quiet on the Western Front. I would have gone with Justin Hurwitz for Babylon. I think the
Yeah.
music is absolutely fantastic. I listen to the soundtrack by itself. That to me
Right.
is always like the winner for me.
I,
All Quiet on the Western Front was solid though. It was solid, but it's not like memorable.
no, it's solid, but again, it's out of those five, that was the one. Babylon was the one that just jumped out at me that I recall being impacted by the music, like
100%.
specifically. Uh,
100%.
Everything else was outshone by something completely different other than the music. But Babylon, the music just brought you into that world even more,
For
and
sure.
enhanced everything that you watch. So
There's multiple themes, that came from that film. You have the Margot Robbie and Diego's character theme. You have the two. There's two themes they have, like when they're in the house party in the beginning. Yeah, that one I think should have won easily.
yeah,
Next, we have best achievement in best achievement in music written for motion pictures original song.
right.
You have RRR, Rise, Roar, Revolt. Not to. You have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Lift Me Up, Everything Everywhere All at Once, This Is a Life, Tell It Like a Woman, Applause, Hold My Hand, Lady Gaga, Top Gun Maverick. I think Top Gun Maverick should have won. Your winner is RRR. I've never obviously heard that.
Never heard.
Lift Me Up. I could have gone with that one too. I think those are again kind of
Yeah,
the same thing as music. It's like whatever ones kind of are bigger than the picture. I
yeah,
think are your ones. And Rihanna Lift Me Up was a really good song, and Hold My Hand.
yeah. I would have
Lady
given it
Gaga.
to Lift Me Up. Uh, for the only reason why it's like the most known of all these songs.
Lady Gaga's was pretty big. I like
Yeah,
that.
so, but it's not, a Star is Born, right? It's
Sure.
not like
For
it's
sure.
not a shoe-in. They don't
Yeah.
play it on the radio all day.
Yeah. All right. Best achievement in visual effects. Oh, gee, hold on. Yeah, we'll cut that out.
Or just leave it in.
Yeah, I just swallowed her.
Ugh.
Washing it down with a nice crisp LBC from Beechwood.
LBC IPA. Very nice.
All right. Next, we have Best Achievement in Visual Effects: Avatar: Way of Water, All Quiet on the Western Front, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, The Batman, Top Gun: Maverick. And your winner is Avatar: The Way of Water. I think again, this is ridiculous. You know, when you get 8 years to make a film, your visual effects better be very good. They were.
If it doesn't, shame on you.
Yeah,
right?
they were better even than like I there was at times where I wasn't even listening to the dialogue and I'm just looking at every pixel of their faces and like the pores. I mean, it was ridiculous.
It's stunning. It's a stunning film. Whether you agree with, whether or not it's a good or not a good film. I mean, visually, you can't beat it. I mean, if Avatar didn't exist, if it happened to be pushed a year, I would have gone easily Top Gun on this one.
No, not for visual effects, because there wasn't a ton of visual effects.
Yeah, there were still visual effects. I mean, they flew those planes, yes, but there was a ton that had to be added.
Yes, that's probably it. There's probably a ton of
post-production in order to make that what we saw on screen. Right?
It looked like, put it this way, I guess that's how great the visual effects are, is you couldn't tell that they're visual effects. So yeah, I guess you're right. In a way,
maybe Wakanda Forever probably had to do a lot more.
They had to do more, but there's definitely parts where it's like, yeah, I mean, it looks CGI.
Yeah.
You know, so it looks good, don't get me wrong, but it's like Avatar, you can't believe you're watching, like you just think you're watching an animated film versus like, wait, this is actually CGI. You know what I mean? And these are actually actors like performing this. Like that's how incredible Avatar is. But yeah. All right, let's move on. Best documentary feature. You have Nalvani, A House Made of Splinters, All That Breathes, All the Beauty and Bloodshed, Fire of Love. I saw none of these. Nalvani was your winner. So sure, why not? I don't.
It absolutely deserved it. I just finished it. I just finished it. It's phenomenal. It's an incredible documentary. I love documentaries.
What's it about?
What's that?
What's it about?
Navalny is about a guy named Navalny, is his last name, who was basically he was in opposition to Vladimir Putin and was very vocal about how, everyone's corrupt and awful in Russia and that he is the new answer. And he was ultimately poisoned and almost died. But they were
spoiler, Pete. Whoa, buddy. Did you just spoil the ending of the
It's not a spoiler. This is the setup to the documentary. That's the setup.
Jeez.
They have to track the poison.
Just tell us the third act, why don't you?
And where do you think it came from? Oh, the Kremlin.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing documentary, and it absolutely deserved it. Fire of Love, I've heard, is amazing. I haven't seen it yet.
I've heard of that too. Yeah.
It's on my list, but that is basically touted as one of the better documentaries of the year for sure.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I want to check that one out. Next, we have animated feature film: Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marshall the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Sea Beast Turning Red. Your winner is Pinocchio.
No brainer.
Yes, that was really well animated. I heard, and I've not seen it yet. Marielle, shout out Marielle, said Marcel with the Shoes On is very good. She thought it was really amazing. She's got a good taste in films.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Turning Red was probably the only other one I saw.
So good.
I mean, biggest, I think, snub here, Pete, Paws of Fury. Where's Paws of Fury's at? Starring Academy Award winning actress Michelle Yeoh.
Unbelievable. Just no recognition at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Pinocchio is the right call.
Yeah.
You know what is surprising, Pete? So I would say these are not the 5 biggest releases, maybe Puss in Boots, but you're seeing this snub of all the biggest films in animated. Minions, DC League of Super Pets.
Bad Guys was even a big
Bad
film.
Guys, and there was another one that was around that time, a Disney one. Oh, Strange World, and then there's another Disney one though Lightyear.
Oh yeah, Lightyear. I don't know.
So I think you're seeing. I think this is a kind of a lesson that bigger is not necessarily better in animated, and so I think a note for animation films, they probably need to reel it in a little bit.
They could have put 4 other films other than Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio in there, and it wouldn't have mattered.
No, I agree. Yeah,
it wouldn't have mattered. I think the other ones were just sort of highlighting other things that were sort of brought to light in terms of how you're able to do animation, and then little things that you can do in storytelling, and actually trusting audiences with certain topics. Like I get all of that, but Pinocchio is just above and beyond just everything else.
Yeah, it was excellent. Okay, best animated short.
Move forward to the international feature film, no?
Yeah, I'm just going to announce the winner because that we didn't see any of these. Best animated short film is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Best live action short film, An Irish Goodbye. Best documentary short film, The Elephant Whispers. Best international feature film, All Quiet on the Western Front. I think that was a no-brainer.
Yep.
And then honorary award. Wow, I can't even talk tonight. Honorary award, Diane Warren, Yuzen Palsy, and Peter Weir. Peter Weir is a very great director. I believe he did Truman Show, if I'm correct. Dead Poet Society. That's what.
Yeah, and my favorite.
He did do Truman Show. Yeah, he did Truman Show. So he's excellent, well deserved. Michael J. Fox is your humanitarian award winner. Obviously, anybody that plays Marty McFly deserves an award. So, yeah, and that wraps us up, Pete.
It's great.
Any other closing thoughts that you have?
No, I mean, I kind of like that Jimmy Kimmel was minimalized. He did a great job, but I like that they weren't, focused on a host. I thought this show sort of plays itself, and I don't think we need all the theatrics. And I thought they just kind of got right to the point. And there was a couple of skits in there that you were just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I thought a shout out to Elizabeth Banks. I thought her, even though she didn't have a voice, I thought she was very funny with the fake bear, talking about visual effects and what it takes to like what visual effects mean in a film. And meanwhile, she's standing next to a big giant bear. It was funny. She was good. Very, 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 very classy woman.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well that wraps up our show. Our next episode we'll be reviewing Scream and
65,
yeah, which I'm going to be seeing in the next couple of days. And then also in that episode we're going to be talking about our top 10 movies that we're looking forward to. So with this, obviously we're reviewing the winners of 2022. We're hoping to maybe we'll be previewing some of the winners of 2023.
Yes.
Make sure you like and subscribe us, help us grow. And in our other upcoming podcasts, we have Home Alone still, which we shot 16 months ago and have not released. That'll be coming out as soon as I get time to edit that. And then we have we're going to be shooting what's the film? The Shawshank Redemption. So we'll be coming out with our old reminiscing films. Pete and I will be going to work and building the list out. We'll have all our friends back on and reviewing movies for you, the audience. So thank you guys. And with that, Pete, that is a cut. Thanks, guys.